Cooties.com/your horror movie podcast.
All right. Why are you already laughing?
You fucking mumbling to yourself.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Talking about nothing.
I'm like, what you talking about? We ain't talking about nothing. We talk about cooties. What you talking about? We ain't talking about nothing. Sorry, I got the coffee. Fucking coffee's flowing. What you talking about? We ain't talking about nothing. We got the cooties. You got cooties. I got cooties. We're fucking talking cooties. You like zombies? I like zombies. Let's fucking talk about zombie cooties.
Zombie cooties, dude. Fucking Christ, dude. All right, Hackstab Slash. In case you haven't noticed, Justin is his own little world right now, just singing, dancing, and making all the rhymes. This week, we're talking about cooties. Now, I picked this movie because, unfortunately for Justin, my other two options were not available to stream for free. So I had to pivot, and I picked a movie that I didn't think Justin had seen before, but I'm excited for him to watch. Granted, this has zero fucking singing in it, which was a downside because I wanted to find a movie with some singing in it for you. But I figured since he liked Little Monsters so much that maybe Cooties would fall into this category.
I was gonna say this felt like Little Monsters. But before we start, I just want to say something real fast because we are recording on a Sundays, and Sundays can sometimes be a sad day for me. But yesterday was a Saturday.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
oh,
Justin.
Crap. Oh, my God. Hey, can you please edit that?
Absolutely not, Justin. What kind of tree fits in your hand?
I don't know.
Palm trees.
Oh, dear God. That's freaking odd. Like, I'm just... Well, cut all this out. Holy shit.
No.
We just lost every single subscriber ever. No, that was awful.
We went back under 1,000 right now.
We just hit 1,000, and now we're back at like 999. All right, let's move on. Christ. That was awful. Holy crap.
All right, Justin. Now, every child in America does not want our fucking dad jokes, of course. But do you know what every child in America looks forward to?
Cooties?
The one day a week for lunch. And that sacred day is Chicken Nugget Day.
Let's go.
How is this day brought to fruit? Wow, Jesus. Great start. How is this day brought to fruition, one might ask? Well, let me tell you about a processing plant in Fort Chicken, Illinois, where the chickens are killed by hand and there's no quality control of any kind, from grinding up the meat to the packaging area. Hell, even our lunch lady turns a blind eye to these infested nuggets from hell. But seriously, can we really blame them? Because even our little elementary consumer, Shelly, scarfs down these suckers like she's trying out for a live-action movie of Hungry Hungry Hippos. Bro, this opening set of scenes made my guts turn.
Dude, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, maybe my kid could watch this with me. He's never watched horror movies. He's not. And then after the opening scene, I'm like, thank God I didn't let him watch, because like he's very picky eating, and one of the few things he eats is like chicken. I'm like, thank God I did not show him this movie, because he would.
Dude, I sat down with a snack to watch this movie, and I forgot about how like nasty the opening credits are.
Ugh.
And I literally, Justin, I had my food and I'm sitting there, I'm watching it, and I went like this.
Yeah.
Like, I ducked my head away, and I was like, I ain't watching this.
Yeah, no bueno. Good
thing Hanson is going to be bringing his wealth of knowledge to the children of Fort Chicken. I can't. Fort Chicken is the name of your town?
Already, I'm like, what the hell is Sean picking? I'm like, this is really a place called Fort Chicken. Come on.
All right, dude. So Hanson is going to be bringing his wealth of knowledge to these children. But before he can finish his toast to strudel, he needs some constructive criticism from Mommy Dearest on his book. It does not go well at all, because she basically tells him that the book sucked. She was lost. She didn't understand it. But mostly, she loved it because she's caring. She loves him. She tore him apart and then was like, yeah, but it was great.
I love it.
Like, no, Ma, it's too late. You can't turn back now. Hadson gets parked in at the new school, and I say this lightly because, yes, this dickhead in the pickup truck parks so close that Hadson can't get out.
Who the hell is Hadson?
It's the teacher.
Isn't his name like Clint or something?
It's Clint, but it's Hadson. Clint Hadson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he asked him to call him Mr. Hadson.
Oh, okay.
So I just called him Hadson through the movie.
All right.
But I mean, granted, yeah, this dude gets parked in and he can't get out of his car, Justin. But do you know what pissed me off so much about the scene?
What?
You see how fucking close he parked to the next guy?
It was equal. Yeah.
Bro, you're in a fucking Prius and there's plenty of parking. No wonder why someone wrote "eat a cock" on your rear window as you climbed out. You, sir, are the reason why Prius owners have a bad name.
All right.
Adson walks into the school now, and it isn't much better, dude. He hears kids telling him to watch it and, pay better attention to his surroundings. And then you see another kid in the background telling his mother to go fuck himself. And then we meet Vice Principal Sims, and he's a weirdo if I've ever seen one. And he even confiscates his cell phone. Actually, you know what? Both these dudes suck. Because while he's confiscating his cell phone and just talking to him like he's like below him, Hadson instantly starts trying to show off that he's writing a book. And then the vice principal is such a douchebag that everything he says gets put into air quotes.
Yep.
Douche canoe. Am I fucking right, Justin, or am I right?
You're pretty right.
All right, dude. So we go to the faculty lounge now, where Tracy is describing some very, very sexual details about his partner's balls and how he likes to play with them and how they're fuzzy and he can do all these tricks with them. And then he realizes he sounds really, really gay. And he goes, wait, no, it's my tennis partner.
I know. I was like, what is happening?
Dude, Tracy, the way he described this, Justin, I feel like you would fall into this category.
Yeah,
you would describe something to a T, genuinely innocent, and then everyone around you would be like, yo, bro, you talking about a penis? And you'd be like, no,
not at all. God,
you sick fucks. We even meet Miss Burke next, and she shows off her rape button that'll have the cops to her side in under 2 minutes because the state of Illinois sucks with the conceal and carry laws. Hadson also gazes off to the corner and he sees Lucy, his friend from way back in the day. She introduces him to Doug, who's a bit of a strange character. I got him labeled as like a Steve Carell from Anchorman.
Okay.
She also introduces her boyfriend, Wade, who's pleased to meet you with meat to please you.
Who said
what?
That? What is up with these characters?
I have no fucking idea, but Clint calls him out for the way he parked next to him. And for the next 2 minutes, we try to watch Wade pronounce what, Justin?
I can't. I tried saying it a lot. I couldn't say it either. Was it
dual rear wheel drive?
Dual rear. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Try it. Just give me one. Say it as fast as you can.
Dual rear where? Dual rear. Hold on. Say it again for me.
Dual rear wheel drive.
Dual Wade rear wheel. Drool. Oh my God, it's impossible. Say it.
Dual rear wheel drive.
Dual rear wheel drive. Where? Oh, all right. This is,
bro. I'm clipping this and I'm putting you side by side with Wade.
Bro, we gotta cut all this out. This is ridiculous. I'm not doing that again.
It's classroom time, and these shithead kids are laying into Shelly, who's fully infected now, and a kid named Patriot and another one named Dink. They're telling her, and I quote, "She's so fucking ugly. You look like my butthole's ass." Only a fucking grade school kid would come up with, "You look like the asshole on my butthole."
Asshole, yeah.
We also see each one of the teachers now, like their attempt to teach. Are you still trying to say it?
Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm like really upset that I can't say it. I'm sorry,
bro. We get like a glimpse of these teachers' teaching methods. We see Doug, who's talking about his weekend and his uncle's fucking divorce. Clint cracks a anyone order a sub joke, and no one laughs. Miss Burke is an absolute nut job. This teacher, right there on your shoulder, right here, that chick. Yep. She is a nutcase. We even see Clint. He goes to write his name on the board, and Dink goes, "Your name's Cunt?"
It did look like it.
Because he put the L and the I way too close together. And then when he tried to erase it, he just made it worse.
Yeah.
But, dude, oh my God. He also gets into it with Patriot, who gives him the rundown of his name and informs Hadson while he's talking that like he looked at 100 vaginas on his phone. Bro, this kid Patriot lays into Clint and tears him apart because he's like, "Give me your phone. You're not allowed to have it." And he's like, "Oh, really? How about I tell my daddy that you tried to tell?" And I was like, oh my God, dude, this kid.
I hated Patriot.
This kid is going to be a problem. So Clint retreats now. And instead of following the curriculum and being a good substitute teacher, bro busts out the first draft of his book and asks these kids to read it out loud to him. Jesus Christ, is this dude is so about himself, dude. It's almost laughable at this point. Yeah, and the only kid to volunteer is probably like the good kid in the class, and his name's Calvin. And while Calvin's reading, dude, Patriot leans over and he pulls on Shelly's hair, and a fucking chunk, like the whole pigtail, peels off, and he's disgusted. She turns around and takes a chomp out of his face. And just as Clint can go over there to like break it up, dude, she takes off out of the room. And Clint brings him to the nurse's office, and she's like, he's going to have to go get stitches. And Clint, dude, being a dickhead, is like, nah, he's good. Right, Patriot? Yeah. You're a tough boy. You'll be just fine. And I'm like, bro, you do not need to be around kids. I'm sorry. Like, you are not cut out to teach any kind of kid. We get Rick, our local burnout crossing guard. He takes off after school to the parking lot to make a drug deal. And this drug deal leads him onto a magical mystery ride on his magical mystery van, because he decides what better place to eat a bag of fucking mushrooms than a school parking lot. He's the stopping guard right next to you with the stop sign. That just, Recess is now in full effect. We see these booger-eating crotch goblins, and Shelly, who's fully infected, she takes a swipe at Dink, because Dink is like trying to lay into her about biting Patriot, and this just starts an absolute chain reaction of this Cooties pandemic. Rick, who's tripping balls, calls into the vice principal and tries his best to describe what he's seeing without losing his jobs because, well, shrooms.
Why would he eat shrooms right there?
Dude, and then he has to call into the vice principal, and he's like, hey, I'm on some medications for, like, health reasons. I don't know if I'm really seeing this, but I think the kids just tore apart. I forget what the dude's name is, but he's like, Mr. Smith, I think he just tore him apart. Vice Principal Sims runs outside to check on it, and he gets torn to shreds. And I love how he gets killed, because you hear this, like, fucking pipsqueak go outside, and the kids grab his hands, and he's like, I got like bursitis in my elbows. Leave me alone.
So fun.
And all it looks like is the kids are trying to play with him. And he's like pissed. I just love that he gets torn to shreds. Doug, though, he points out the carnage in the most nonchalant way.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, look, guts.
Yeah. I was like, he's like, oh, hey, look, carnage. And they're like, what? It's like, what?
Miss Burke freaks the fuck out, and she presses her rape button. And Wade is horrible at basketball, and I think these kids have had enough of him shooting bricks, because they surround his ass. But guess what? He was an all-state football player, and he's going to run through these fucking kids like he's the white, out-of-shape version of Marshawn Lynch. Tracy calls 911, but it's cut short because Patriot is literally ripping out all the phone lines, the internet lines, just everything. Wade does make it after just plowing through these kids like a fucking Derrick Henry highlight show. He makes it to the lounge. He gets in there, and then we see Sheriff Dave shows up, asking these kids what's going on, paying no mind to the fact that all these kids are infected. There's dead bodies everywhere. There's blood everywhere. They're covered in shit. And he describes himself as like a Batman.
Ridiculous.
And, of course, the second he puts his hands on this fucking gate, bro, they eat two of his fingers. He panics, retreats to his car, thinks he's in the safe zone. Nah.
Nope.
Shelly's in there, bro, and she tears him to fucking shreds. She's in the back seat. She pops up, dude. This cruiser is covered in blood. At this point, dude, I don't know if you felt this way, but Shelly reminds me of Vivian. Do you know who Vivian is?
It
sounds
like
familiar, right?
No, it doesesn't, the name, but my guess would be like the little girl from Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, she's
really?
the little girl from Dawn of the Dead in the opening scenes.
Let's go.
Right? Tell me they don't like match almost perfect.
No, it does. That's why honestly I had no clue you were going to say that. I don't remember the name Vivian, but as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh shit, that kind of reminds me of like that. Yeah. All right.
Our teachers are in full-blown panic. Wade tries to lead, and he gets like an infected Patriot in when he's trying to like do his shit. Dude, he attacks before getting stuck inside of a cabinet with some teacher that no one knows. They're like, who was that? They're like, I don't know. They don't know her name. She died nameless. That's the worst way to go out.
Who is that? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. We're not going to open it and find out. That's for damn sure.
They're like, let's go.
They're all right. So they're running down the hallway, and this has got to be Justin's favorite scene in the movie. As they're going down the hallway, we see a teacher, Ninja Warrior, jump down this flight of stairs, and he goes, huh, follow me. I do CrossFit. And immediately runs out the side doors into the playground and gets shredded.
That was my favorite thing. I fucking died. I was like, oh my God. Like I literally had to stop the next scene because I was laughing at that.
They bump into Calvin, the kid who's reading the book from earlier, and they all want to just like kill him, but he's not infected. They're like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm studying for an exam because he's a good fucking kid. No, so he's not infected, so they take him with him. Patriot's now loose, and apparently I don't think these are like full-fledged zombies, but they can think. And this dude opens and does the only polite thing in this entire movie. He holds the door for the other kids to run in. Mm-hmm. All the infected kids are running around these hallways now. They're all still trying to figure out exactly what's going on. And this bro, Doug, he's like, I blame rap music. Calvin chimes in. He goes, it's Cooties. They're like, what? And then this starts the wheels turning in Doug's brain for a theory of what's going on. While he's trying to like explain shit, dude, Wade is losing his mind. And he wants to go full Rambo on these kids with a violin as his fucking weapon. He says, we're going to fight through them. We're going to get out there and we're going to use weapons. And this causes a small fight between Wade and Clint. And bro Wade says to him, he's like, I'm offering leadership. What are you offering? A book no one wants to read about a guy who fucks a boat. Dude, Clint gets pissed and he's like, nah, he's like, there's plenty of hallways in the school. There's rooms connected to rooms. We can sneak around this school. We can hide from these kids. We just need to get to the principal's office and get to the cell phones. Wade goes, sneak around the school? Sneak around like a fucking hobbit? What are you? Awesome. And then he refers to himself as an orc. Bro, so many Lord of the Ring references in one sentence while I'm going off on Frodo Baggins is hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Lucy diffuses the fight and she comes up with the idea, hey, why don't we just wait till 3 p.m. and let the parents show up to pick up all these kids? No. No, like you need to act now. But they accept that as the plan. So they all sit around and they wait for 3 p.m. And they also see Clint, though. He's been scratched. And Wade ain't taking no fucking chances. And he locks his ass in a different room because he's basically puking and shitting his pants at this time. It's so gross. Then we go back to our crossing guard who's still in his van. And this motherfucker needs to put a seatbelt on. Because as he's tripping balls, a public service announcement comes on over the radio. And you can see him like feverishly sweating and like gripping the steering wheel harder and harder because his trip is just getting dumb intense right now.
Yeah, not going good.
Like you can tell he's not enjoying the ride.
Not a good time.
Doug's fucking gone off the deep end, asking the teachers to be quiet over and over again, even though they're already quiet.
Yeah, what is
happening?
On?
Yeah, dude, he goes on telling them about his hypothesis. I was like, what? Excuse me, you mean hypothesis?
Yeah.
Hypothesis. But he goes on telling them about the infection, but not before he has to go wash his hands because, well, he's covered in shit. Next time, just wear gloves, Doug. That was the most disgusting thing I've seen outside of the chicken nugget eating.
Yeah, no, that was an awful scene. And the worst thing is he's like, he says he had gloves on.
Like, he's like, oh, worry, I got gloves on. They're like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
He's just like, okay. So 3 o'clock's coming up fast. But to pass the time, we see these kids are playing. They're playing with 7 arms. They're sticking fingers in their bicycle tires like they're baseball cards. They're even playing marbles with eyeballs. That whole family from Lowlifes would be pissed because that's a delicacy.
Yeah.
They're playing jump rope with intestines. Bro, they even play fucking tetherball with a severed head. Teachers make their way to the roof now because, 3 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So we got to go up there. We got to warn these parents. PTA mom of the year fucking shows up. but she's got her headset in. She paying no mind to anything. She's waiting for a kid to come out. They're trying to wave her down and give her a heads up, like, hey, don't let your kid in the car. He's kind of infected. There's dead bodies everywhere in front of your fucking giant SUV.
Yeah,
Get off the phone and be a mom.
Just look.
And then this scene was a little hard to listen to. I'm glad they didn't show it because she lets her son in the car, and this kid immediately tears apart the fucking infant.
Mm-hmm.
Wastes no time, just shreds this thing while it's in the car seat. But we do get to see that the baby is now Cooties infected and can miraculously stand up and walk around.
Exactly.
So I mean, I guess there's benefits to getting infected, right?
Yep.
All right, just I didn't know. Then they tear the mom to shreds, windows covered in blood, just like the cruiser, all over again. So we realize the roof plan has backfired fully, and they're fucked. So they're in a full sprint for safety because these kids are climbing up the walls. They do make it to an auditorium, and Doug at this point is almost a goner because Dink has him dead to rights, but Wade saves the day and smashes his fucking kid in, like just smashes his head in with a fucking fire extinguisher, Justin.
Oh, yeah.
Doug then takes this opportunity to pull out his brain and study it like he's some kind of like genius. And all Bert can do while they're in the boys' room doing this is she's like, this is disgusting. And they're like, what? And they're like, you guys go to the bathroom in here? And they're like, yeah, dude, it's a urinal. She's like, no, you guys look at each other's penises. She's horrified at the amount of like the lack thereof of privacy that urinals offer people.
Right.
And I'm like, she's not wrong. I mean, like, it's a little weird.
I guess you're just used to it. Yeah, it is kind of weird, actually. Now, I guess now that you bring that up.
Yeah. Now I always knew there was a reason why, like, I picked the urinal away from someone, not directly next to him.
My God, we're rethinking everything right now.
Rick is fully freaking out. The PSA is still playing on the radio. This dude is absolutely fucking losing it. And his shroom trip reaches new levels because he even hears the announcer get killed live on air. And immediately his coping mechanism is to imagine a giraffe that's also high on mushrooms. Please, Justin, tell us all about your mushroom experiences as we experience the second half of the movie.
Oh, dear God. All right, so I'm going to take a pee break, but hold
on. Pee break, dad joke of the day. Why is Peter Pan always flying? Because he never lands. But don't. Welcome back, Justin.
The poor giraffe. Oh, God, that's hilarious. Oh. All right, sorry. I was just thinking of that giraffe again. Like, that is freaking hilarious. All right.
Hey, Justin.
Why
does the tomato blush?
Because he saw the salad dressing.
Ah!
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, where were we? All right, so, dude, Lucy and Wade are talking right now because Wade is frigging pissed. He basically is like, hey, like, this day was not supposed to like turn out like this. Like, I saw you flirting with Clint. Like, I saw you laughing, how you like smile and stuff. And you know what? I bought you a ring. And he basically tells all the stuff like what he was gonna do. It was supposed to be a great day. And then he says, you know what? You can go fuck yourself. So it's not going that good right now. And then Doug runs in, this friggin' weirdo who dissected the kid. He's like, I got bad news. He's like, Rebecca, be quiet. Starts screaming at the teacher to be quiet again. She's not even talking. And he throws the brain like this on the floor. It's disgusting. It's like a black brain and everything. He goes on talking about how it's a virus, it's different cells dead. Like, the dude's talking like no one understands what the hell he's saying. And he's a scientific madman. And they're like, how do you, and the creepiest dude ever, which we'll get to in a second. But they're like, how do you know this? And he says how he had like a 6-inch spike in his brain as a kid. So that's how he figures all this stuff out. But
I love this part so much because he's like, yeah, the 6-inch spike in my head. I learned all about brains. And he's like, that's why, if you notice, sometimes when I'm telling you a story, I use the wrong sailboat.
Yeah.
He's like, word. He's like, word.
So, dude, this is ridiculous. Like, you can talk about every single quote this guy says in the whole entire movie. And they have like the young girl who's not affected with them, Tamara, I think her name is, and she's like in the bathroom, and he's like asking her if she's had her period and stuff. Like,
yeah, he goes, have you had your menses?
Yeah, like the stuff he's saying, and they're like,
I gave you an A in health. I'm disappointed that you don't know what menses are.
And they're like, Doug, like, what the hell are you talking about? And they realize, like, he's like, all right, hold on. this virus is only dangerous if you have not hit puberty. That's why it's not affecting the adults, and that's why it's like two of the kids, some of the kids are fine. So as this is all happening, all of a sudden the lights go out and we hear crazy loud slams. We're like, what is even happening? Everyone's panicking, and in runs the friggin' janitor, Hitachi. And also all of a sudden the zombie kid runs in and they're like, holy shit, and poor Kelvin, man, this kid is a diabetic. He needs sugar. So they run and they hide and they get into like the basement or something, and they're like they're talking to the janitor. They're like, "Wait, you like live here?" Because he's got like his like little house set up and everything. And they're like, "Oh shit, like we're all alone," because they got the radio on. They're hearing stuff, reports from outside of how the evacuations have begun. This crazy virus is spreading everywhere. It's not going good at all. They need a game plan. They look and they see the ductwork, so they're like, you know what? We got to go into AC unit. Someone's got to get up there and just climb around and everything. And they're like, we need the smallest person. They all look at Mr. Hobbit man himself, and they look at Clint, and they're like, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm not brave. I don't do this kind of stuff at all. He basically says every single reason why he cannot do it. And Tamara, she gives him the circle, circle, dot, dot, gives him his cootie shot. So, he's good.
I love that they worked that into this movie.
So cool. I know that was pretty awesome. So into the AC unit he goes. Dude's not having it at all. But Lucy then starts freaking out because like Wade is just being an absolute dick. And she starts screaming at all. She's like, you know what? I hate all you guys. Like, you guys all suck. She's like, I'm going to. So boom, into the vent. We got Lucy and Clinton to the vent. And as they're going through the vent, the AC system, I mean, they're almost spotted by a zombie tricycle rider. They're like looking through the vent and they see like a crazy zombie tricycle rider going, but they continue on. And they also need to go get a candy bar to help Calvin. So they get out. Clint pops out. Lucy keeps going. He gets the candy bar for Calvin. But unfortunately, there's also a zombie girl now into the room, so he's got to be quiet. As this is happening, we see Lucy pop out of the vent, and she finds all the cell phones. Unfortunately, all the cell phones are absolutely smashed. So
I don't know if they're all smashed though. I like to blame Miss Lucy for not looking at every single one of them because there's no way in the speed that Patriot used to break those cell phones,
right,
that not one of them kind of still works.
She probably should have. You're right. She probably should have been a little more thorough. But as this is all happening, the sound, the vending machine goes off, and the zombie girl hears it. You see all the kids start hearing it, so they're like into the vent. So they all jump back into the vent, and they're being chased now into the damn vent, and they are kicking at this freaking kid and everything. They luckily escape, and they radio over to Wade and everyone. And they're like, hey, these kids are coming like in the vents and everything. So Wade, they're throwing shit in the vents to jam it up and that whatever, and then they strap the thing shut. So we got two different groups now. We got Lucy and Clint together in a different room, and everyone, all the whack group, and whatever you want to call it.
It's so true though. Like, they're all like, dude, not one of those people at any point in this movie outside of Lucy, I was like, should ever teach a kid in their entire life.
We're just gonna call them the whack pack. That's what they're going. The friggin' whack pack. The whack pack is just all out there, whatever. And basically, Clint now he comes clean to Lucy. He's like, "Hey, I gotta be honest with you. I knew you worked here. I 100% knew that, and also I'm a first grade teacher in New York. I missed you. I wanted to come back and see you and everything. And then they started going hot and heavy. They start getting a kiss and everything. It starts going pretty good for them. And then they stop and like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Then we go back to the whack pack right now. And they're all coming clean too. They're all basically saying how they want more for life. Like this can't be how they go out and everything. And the crazy girl teacher, I don't even remember her name. She's like, I wanted to fire an Uzi. And they're like, all right, what the fuck? And then Doug, bro, like, this dude says he always wanted to have sex with a prostitute that wanted to have sex with a non-white prostitute. Like what? What the hell? That's what you're.
Justin, is there anything you want to add to this list? Is there something that like if you're in a dying moment that you have to do?
Well, I couldn't even write all this. I just wrote all these quotes are ridiculous. What am I missing?
I feel like where Justin was like, this one says she wanted to shoot an Uzi. This one wants to have sex with a prostitute. If you were in this room, you would be like, I want to quit my job.
Yeah, seriously. Like, there's a lot going on in here. And then, anyway, Lucy radios Clint, and Clint is just apologizing now to... Hold on, Lucy radios
with Clint. Boom, 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 boom. She doesn't know about it. Boom, 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 boom.
Anyway, Clint is apologizing to Wade now. I forgot the name. That's why I was like, wait, who the hell's Clint and Wade? Anyway, so Clint is apologizing to Wade through the thing, and he's basically like, hey, I have an idea. Like, we're gonna like throw these drugs at these kids and everything, and we're gonna set up something. So we see that they're getting all the Adderall, all the Ritalin. They're opening the door. They're just throwing all the drugs at these kids. So hopefully the kids just take all the Adderall,
Dude,
all the
and
Ritalin.
this movie sets that whole scene up because in the opening scenes, when the teachers go to like start teaching, when the bell rings, did you see that like quick? It's only like a 2-second cutscene,
Yeah,
but every fucking kid in
they're
there
all
pops open
popping.
and takes an Adderall.
Yep. So all
Like,
these
talk
kids
about a
take,
machine for Farmer.
yeah, they want these kids to pass out from just taking all their Adderall, all their Ritalin. And then we flash forward to Wade right now, and he's like, hey, you know that part in all those like every 80s action movie ever where there's like a montage suit up scene? Well, this is ours. Let's fucking go. And as he's doing this epic speech, man, this guy is still keep going. They're grabbing everything. So I mean, you get every single thing you can imagine, weapons, they got symbols. I mean, hockey sticks and sporting stuff, ball launchers. Like, what do you like the thing that like shoots the balls for pitching? Every single thing you can imagine, and they're all getting epic, and like just all getting riled up and everything. And Tracy, he does his battle cry where he yells, "I'm gay," and they're all just like,
we know.
"Yeah, we know." Okay, like don't even need to say that. Whatever. And then like the janitor Hitachi's getting all excited and everything. He's like, I'm gonna tell a story. He starts telling this epic story and everything, and it's like completely killing the mood. And Wade's like, yo, look, that's way too long. Like, just like it's dodgeball time. Like, let's go. So now the group, dude, they bust open the doors. All the group, all of them are together right now. And Wade is leading the way. And he's got like the ball pitch machine like attached to him. So these kids, zombies, are like jumping out, and he is just blasting these kids in the face with balls. And they're just dropping like, oh God. Oh,
bro, you set yourself up twice. You started with the whack off crew coming clean, and now you're blasting kids in the face with balls.
Dude, this edit, I can't even speak. Like, this episode's a mess. So anyway, he's going down the hallway shooting balls. I'll say it better, baseballs, and he was just his aim is incredible. Like, they're all getting friggin' face shots. And outside, we see outside now. They go outside, and there's just tons of them. And we see the janitor stays back, and Hitachi is just a killing machine. This dude is judo chopping and karate kicking every single person like it's freaking Chun-Li over here. And we see all of a sudden they all just charge. The group just charges each other. This is an epic battle scene. They are swinging kids around. We got hockey sticks to heads. One of them's got symbols. They are symbols. I mean, every single thing you can imagine is happening. It is an absolute slaughter. One of them, I think Doug's got like a cattle prod or something. He's like,
one might call this a symbolic scene.
Yeah. Oh, that was really good, actually. So it is just freaking epic. And they all get to Wade's truck. And Wade looks back and he's like, throws in the keys. And he's like, hey, take care of her. And unfortunately, he stays back. And it looks like we see him getting attacked and getting killed for the cause. Oh, let's freaking go. Wade all of a sudden turn good and just, take one for the team. And now they're all driving around. They're all packed into Wade's trucks. They are flying now. And unfortunately, one of these little fuckers are on the roof. And this thing is clawing in there. And they slam on the brakes. The kid falls back. And they go backwards and run over this kid a second time with like the rooster. I gotta be careful how I say this scene. Well,
no, because this scene is set up that way. You need to say it properly.
We'll just say it's a rooster. And it's like at the end of the thing.
Right.
And the rooster
if you won't do it, I'll do it. Wade has a rooster for a trailer hitch. This trailer hitch, rooster, another word is a cock. And it's Patriot who's chasing this truck. Now, in the opening scenes, Patriot writes, eat a cock on Hadson's rear window of the Prius. As this truck is in full speed going backwards, he tells Patriot to eat a cock. And how this little rooster fucking trailer hitch kills Patriot is it goes directly into his mouth and disintegrates his face. So essentially making Patriot eat a cock.
Thank you, Sean, for the breakdown. I was not going to go there. Every other time,
you're very welcome. But
every other time I have gone there, it's been by
accident.
I didn't know how to explain the scene. I literally wrote in my notes, parentheses, Sean will probably explain it. But that's
thank God there's no pizza in this movie.
Seriously. Anyway, so moving on. They are flying and they are into the next town. We are entering the town of Danville. And on the entering to Danville sign, it literally says, like in parentheses, at least it's not Fort Chicken. And they drive in here, and I get like House of Wax vibes. It looks like a freaking ghost town. And there's nobody there. And of course, what happens? They're out of freaking gas. So they stop, and there's a storefront with all like the TVs and stuff on there. So they all like, oh my God. So they're all looking at the TVs. And we see it is a full pandemic right now. You see, and the news report saying, "Oh, hey, like this could have came from like the Fort Chicken factory," and they're like, "Oh my God, like chicken nugs," and of course,
Chicken
Doug,
nuggies?
yeah, dude, Doug is like going through all this crazy stuff. He's like, "Oh my God, we got to find a tainted nug, and I can like make a vaccine," and like, of course he can, like all this crazy. Meanwhile, behind them, all the damn zombie kids are like on top of the friggin' truck. They turn around. Oh shit. They're getting chased. They see a door to something. They all jump inside this. They open this door, jump inside, close the door, and it is friggin' dark. And they turn on the lights. And of course, I'm pretty sure Doug's got like a mask on and like jump scares them. And then they look and it's like a birthday party. So there's like a bunch of food, like all half eaten and everything. And we see nuggets. And they're like, oh my God, nuggets. And Doug's like, we gotta get nugget out of here. Nugget, nugget. Oh my God, I'm like, bro, can you just edit me out of this?
We get we
I
nugget out of here.
thank you. Oh my God, I can't even talk. I'm a mess. Yeah, anyway, classic Doug, classic freaking Doug. We see it's a birthday party, and it's at like a jump and play house like place, one of those things that every single town has one now. And
It's like a
they
busy bees or anything like
yeah,
that.
whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. I'm sure your town's got one, and we see the lights come back on, and they're in like the ball pit where you can like shoot balls at people.
Dude, I
And
love this scene because it's so like Mad Max-ish,
yes, because
where
also
they're in
like the
like a
lights
kill
go on,
arena.
and they turn around and like that they are surrounded. All these kids are upstairs, and they are all zombie kids, and they're all pointing like their ball blasting guns at them. And at the same time, this is all happening. You like hear something, and you're like, "What the hell is this loud sound going?" And all of a sudden, friggin' Wade and Hitachi, who I forgot about, the friggin' janitor, they burst in, and Wade's like, "Someone order a badass," and she's like, "I thought you were dead." He's like, "I was only half dead," and he's got like a water gun pump or something, and he is just shooting, squirting everyone. There, he is just soaking this friggin' place down. And they're all running, and they try to block the kids out with like a giant, like squishy ball. They're like pushing it into there so like that no one can get out of there. And and dude, another awesome line. He's like, you know what? You kids all get an F for fuck you. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely
Put that
amazing.
on a t-shirt.
And then of course the van is backed up now. They're all loading into the van. And who the hell's driving the van? Rick the Shroom guy? You guys thought that was a good idea to have this like
No,
what is even
no.
happening? Like what? And never mind, they're talking to Wade now. He's like, dude, like I don't think a water gun's gonna solve on this. And he's like, it ain't water. As he puts his aviators on, lights a match in like slow motion, and like throws in an epic movie slow motion. And he's just like, nap time, motherfuckers. The amount of like badass one-liners he drops in like the last couple minutes of this movie is epic. And they just freaking, of course, like Shroom dude is like, is this one of those crazy like drug interventions? And they're like, how did you find this? And they're driving away now, and he's always like, oh God, I'm not gonna be able to say this word either. And the Wade's like, I always can find my dual rare wheel. Shit, I forget what the word is. I'm
Dual
terrible.
space. Do it with me. Ready? Dual
Dual
rear
rear
wheel
wheel
drive.
drive.
All right, now go get a lollipop.
and boom, they drive.
Here's a sticker.
They drive away. We see a person lit on fire chasing, and end of movie. Whew, that was a tough one to get to. Oh my God, it was a tough episode.
Justin, what did you think about this movie?
Oh, all right. I guess you're gonna make me talk right away back to back. So, all right. So I thought this movie was extremely fun. It was more gory than I even expected. Dude, the supporting characters, which I guess I had dubbed the Whack Pack, was ridiculous. I think you nailed it by saying it was like the Steve Carell from Anchorman, like Doug.
Oh yeah,
Holy
I
shit,
love
dude,
Lamb.
Doug was absolutely ridiculous. this definitely was a Sean movie. It definitely had like a Little Monsters feel, very similar to like Little Monsters, like the storyline at least. My complaint for Rick was, dude, come on, give us more Rick, the Shroom guy. Dude, I needed more of this guy. Like he could have been so much fun. Like I wish he was like
Dude,
more in the
and
Whack
he's
Pack.
such a good actor too. I
Oh,
don't know if you've ever seen the series Lost.
I know he's in that.
He plays
he's in that.
Hurley, and he's
Yeah.
fantastic in that. He's great in everything I've ever seen him in.
Dude, he's been in so many different movies, like just like side characters. He was even in that show like Hawaii Five-O.
Yep.
Like dude, yeah, I mean, every single person knows this guy. Like, I wish I wanted more of him. So yeah, I actually like this a lot. It was gory, it was fun. I give this like a 7.6 out of 10. Super fun watch. The characters were actually funny. All of
We were
them were
so
really
close,
funny.
dude. I gave this movie a 7.9.
Let's go.
I absolutely love the gore in this. The opening credits, like I said, just absolutely creep me out. Justin's Whack Pack is phenomenal casting.
Mhm.
Uh, this is one of those movies. It is a horror comedy, but it feels like it delivers the comedy without having to force it, if
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like
no, it
nothing
does.
feels forced. All these characters in this movie play their role to a T. Like Tracy's character, I've seen him play that same character in like a dozen other things, and it
Yeah.
always works. Don't fix it if it ain't broken.
And like you said real fast, you can keep talking in a second, but the casting has nailed it too. Because some of these people, they wouldn't be able to pull it off. Like, what is this?
No.
Like whatever that guy is, Jack McBray or something, like whatever that dude is. I know he's in tons of stuff. But like I said, he played like if it was a different character, I don't know if they'd pull it off so good. But that guy, like he nails it.
Like
They
if you
cast it
swapped his
perfect.
part with Rainn Wilson, who plays Wade,
Yeah,
the movie would have been horrible because I wouldn't have taken Wade seriously in Tracy's shoes, and I would
right.
have taken Tracy seriously in Wade's shoes. The
Yeah,
casting is spot on.
it was really good.
And I love the fact that this takes place during school hours, so it's teachers versus children,
Mhm.
leaving all the parents out of it. The storyline is fun. This is kind of believable because there have been, scares across America, if you will, like with, the hypothetical like body parts found inside of chicken nuggets and just nasty shit that happens in these processing plants from time to time. Uh, and like I said, dude, 7.9. I have so much fun with this movie. This is a staple in my rotation. Whenever someone asks for just like a zombie movie or anything like that, I'm always recommending the Dawn of the Deads, the Night of the Living Deads. I love Little Monsters. I love Cooties. I maybe it's got something like the Fuck Them Kids. I don't know, but yeah,
It would be a
this
fun
one's
rewatch. It was definitely like I haven't rewatched it, but
yeah,
this would it's very rewatchable. Like I
and
could
it's an
like
easy rewatch.
yeah, that's what
You
I
know what I
mean. This
mean?
would be wicked fun to watch again.
Like after watching this and knowing how the story goes from front to back, Justin, I'm pretty sure you could put this on, go work out for 20 minutes, come back and feel like you didn't miss anything and dive right back into it.
Yeah, exactly. This would be like a great movie just to always like anytime this would be on, I'd just keep it on in the background. I wouldn't
Yeah.
turn from it.
All right, you got any fun facts?
We got the um tagline, which is "You are what they eat," which is solid. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've seen that in another movie. I can't think about it right now. I don't know if it's a Critters movie. I don't know. I feel like I've seen that tagline before. But anyway, I wrote poor Elijah Wood here, man. He must have been having flashbacks to the faculty because he was in the faculty like 25 years earlier, where he was also in the school like fighting against people. So like that he must have had flashbacks. I wrote an interesting one that the children's stunt doubles were dwarfs.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
you
thought
gotta be
that
kidding.
was
The infected
badass.
children
Like
were doubled by dwarf stunt people.
dwarf stunt doubles. So that was really cool. And I wrote Danville Town apparently was the same town in one division. I just thought that was kind of cool. I like when they have like same towns in like different places. And that's all that I got. What do you got?
I do have at one point Wade insinuates that Clint sneaks around like a hobbit. Wood played the Hobbit, Frodo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. We did mention that like earlier on in the movie.
Yep.
I also have when Clint is at the vending machine in the teacher's lounge, a little girl comes in riding a tricycle, mimicking the jigsaw puppet, who also rides a tricycle. Lee Wanell also wrote and acted in the movie Saw.
Oh shit.
And
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
that's all I got. Everything else that I was reading, I was like, I wouldn't consider that a fun fact.
Yeah, when you look at
So,
this, a lot of this stuff's really stupid. It's yeah. But yeah, there we go.
all right, dude. So hack stab slash that about wraps it up. Go check out Cooties. Make sure you got your circle dot.
Now I
we
got
give
my
you
cootie
your
shot.
cootie shot.
Let's go.
We out of here.